Welcome back, everybody. I know I've been holding you in suspense for an extra week here, but we finally got something to show off. It's most of the siding is done. Top part of the frieze is not, and I'll show you why. But first, these are some of the original details that went back on. There's a little bit of flashing on it this time, so hopefully it won't be as prone to rotting. And it took a lot of work to get all of this kind of frieze and pediment put back together. Columns still have to get hung, or pilasters, because they're flat. And we are making one adjustment to how this is working because of the elevation change of the floor height, with respect to the door height, with respect to the fan height. So like all that stuff will go on next week. But originally the base of the column or pilaster went all the way to the bottom of the skirt board. And we can't do that anymore because we need an extra step. That distance was too great. And so we're putting an extra step in here anyway. And so this whole space from here to here is going to have granite under it like it used to. And so that base is going to go at the top of this skirt board instead of below it. So it's going to start here and go up, and the base will kind of end about there. Same thing on the other side. So that's one small change that we've had to make. And actually the height of it works perfectly with it landing there versus there. And we didn't have to add anything or change anything. The door will be exactly the same, just picked up a few inches because of the thickness of the floor again. Everything got thicker with the modern structure and codes and everything. So over here, however, we got thicker by every floor and the roof. And so there was no way that we were just going to be able to pick it up. So plus we're trying to cover this up. So we are keeping it at the base on the outside to kind of ground it all the way down the bottom of the skirt board here. That gets covered up and turned to drip down. And then the column is going to get stretched. It'll probably end, I don't know, maybe where this seam is there naturally. And so we're going to have to put a new length of column in there. But the big deal is what is going on up here. So what we did today was we had the tops of the pilasters down here ready to go back on. And what we found is that if we lined this band molding up and this up, it was off by like 3/4 of an inch. Not an insignificant amount by the time you got to the cove, that chunky cove molding that's all the way toward the top. So I didn't like that, and we found out that the issue really is that the way that these were made is just wrong. They're not tall enough. They need to be a little over 1/2 an inch taller. They're too wide. They just don't match. And the alternative was to cut this down, and I definitely did not want to be cutting these down and changing something that actually was original and making it not original. This was an attempt of a reproduction. We got 4 of these 12-footers that were supposed to span one side to the other, and we're putting them in the garbage. That is what we have decided to do. That is what I decided to do, because alternately we would have had to peel all these back. They're glued in place. They would have had definite rot issues anyway, because it was just going to stay moist and gross in there all the time. And they're not cut particularly straight, so like when you put another band or that molding, look at some of these, right? They're just kind of all over the place. So it just wasn't going to look good. Yeah, it was going to be 25, 30 feet in the air, but I don't know, I didn't feel good about it, and the mistake was made, and rather than save the mistake and butcher the original and the one that was good, we decided to get some new flat stock. Really what we're talking about is we had some left over, so a couple more boards of 1x10 and a couple more 1x4s. This was pine, and it curled as well. This was also going to be an issue, that you can see how curled that is. Kind of needs to be flat. And so we're setting these aside. We got new flat stock, primed on all sides. That is pine, but it's like a higher quality pine. It's not like a knotty pine. And it's gonna go back up there and get tied in. Then they can finish the clapboards up to it. It should be like 2 more courses, I think. Just a couple courses above the windows, which is a couple courses more than it used to be. It was basically 1 course right there, and then there'd be the band starting. So that's how much we picked the roof up. That's how much taller the house is, essentially. It's that 2 feet. We've been talking about that since the beginning. So anyway, yeah, this is getting remade. It's gonna get remade instead of as a unit like we tried to do that one. They're just gonna put them up using the 2 caps as the guide. So I think that's gonna work a lot better. They're already kind of mitered on the inside. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe you can see this one. It's mitered on the inside to accept the molding, so it kind of curls around that boot and runs into it like it always used to. So that's the holdup. We've also had a holdup. I don't know. Yeah, this is new since last time. We've got an issue with a brick. It's hard to see. It's definitely going to be nearly impossible on camera, but diagonally up above the 3rd story window there is a lump in the brick. And so I hope you can make out a string line up there. But right there, it gets about 1.5 inches hangs out, which really screws up the trim detail, the rake boards that are supposed to be mounting there. You can see how tapered this board is. That is the amount it's off by over the course of 3.5 feet or so. So that's not close enough. The brick guys are coming out on Monday. They're gonna see what they can do, or how much of this they're gonna need to pull back to get it flat, so that we can at least run this rake board molding along this side. Hopefully we get that resolved on Monday, and we get rolling on this stuff up there on Monday as well in the morning. And then it's gonna really start getting crazy. The rope is gonna go up there. And when these pilasters go back on, that's gonna be pretty exciting too. So looking forward to it. Sorry for the delay, but as you can see, lots been going on. We also walked through the architects this week and confirmed all the colors. I cannot wait to see some color start going on. They're gonna prime and paint ceilings and all the plaster inside next week. So that's another thing to look out for. It's just gonna look white, so everything's, primer's pretty much white and the ceilings are gonna be white. So no color on the inside immediately, but as soon as we can get somebody out here for the outside, that'll be really exciting to get a couple of swatches up here so you can really see what it's gonna look like. But yeah, just a quick one today. Hope everybody's doing well and staying cool. This heat is killing us up here in the Northeast. This is our, I think, 5th straight day over 90. So it's a big long heat wave, and we got 96 and 97 tomorrow and Sunday. So it's not going anywhere. I think it cools off into the upper 80s next week. And right now I'll take it. But hope things are better where you are. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.